Hello, I thought I might give you a very quick update on my Sew for the Soul book because it's been quite some time since you've seen anything. Um, Very quick thank you to everyone who has subscribed recently and left some really lovely comments on some of the work I've been doing. I really appreciate that. And I'm sorry if I haven't responded to you. I'm getting through the comments quite slowly. So when I finished the last video, I think I was at this page here, which seems like a really long time ago. I had an excess piece of fabric at the end, and rather than take it over to the other side, I've tucked it under and left this here as a tab. Since the last video, I think I've joined these two cutouts as well, which goes on to the next page and is part of the next prompt, which was circles and playing with positive and negative spaces and using different circles to add interest to the pages. So we've got a bit of a peekaboo hole here, which you can't see anything through at the moment, and I'm wondering if I maybe add something here, but it's already a very busy spread, even though this is the breather, so I don't know. What do you think? I feel like it would be nice just to see something here. When you flip it back, sorry, I'm moving back and forth, you can see a little bit here through this hole, which is why I put the French knots, so it gives you a bit of a taste of what's coming. And so I've just added lots of details here. I really like the way this spread turned out, and I think it's because I worked on white fabric and there wasn't any pattern behind it, which left a lot of room to add more stitching elements on each of the circles. So there's some applique lace and bits and pieces here which I've added extra stitches to. Some seed stitch, which I do quite big because I think I'm pretty lazy and I can't do all those tiny little stitches, so I make mine a bit bigger. So after this prompt came the next one, which was quite a big challenge, and it had multiple parts. So the first part was to choose your fabric, which was going to be the base fabric, and then do some running stitch across each of the pages, and to choose some other fabrics to make pockets, small book and a heart. So I'll show you the book in a second, and the heart as well. Technically this pocket isn't actually finished. I'm not sure how I'm going to sew this lace down. I had to make a gusseted pocket because my mini book is so chunky that it wouldn't fit. And the other thing is I didn't want to cover up the pattern here. So I really made it difficult for myself because I chose a fabric I really loved that I didn't want to cover up. I made a big chunky book and I had to make a tiny pocket. So after a lot of cutting and wasted fabric and trialing different methods for the pocket, I found a tutorial on YouTube for a gusseted one, which I think worked quite well, and is still actually a bit too small for my chunky book. So one of the other parts of the challenge was to create a mini book, and I did some hand embroidery on the front, which I'm still learning. I don't know if that, I think it looks okay. Actually, I really like this book. I like the cover, I like the size, even though it's not really that small. And technically this isn't finished either. You can see I've still got the pins in here. I've got to stitch the back cover inside. So inside we had other challenges as well, to use rectangles on this page and some stitching. This one was to use 5 buttons, and I've made mine into kind of flower arrangement with different stitches around each of the buttons. This one was to use a button and some pistol stitch, and I tried to make that look like dandelion, I think. This one was to do some couching, which I did over some twine. This one was to use 2 rectangles and make one of those a pocket, and to add a tiny tag. My tag isn't so tiny, but I think it looks quite cute, and I like the lace at the bottom here. And the final challenge in the mini book was lovely lace, and I really love this lace here, which is great to cut apart, which I've used on the pockets as well. So I still have to stitch this back page in, and that's the little book. And so when I put it in, you've really got to stuff it in there, but it does manage to go in. Well, I think it looks okay. Anyway, moving on. The other part of this challenge was to create a heart tag. And again, I looked on Pinterest for some inspiration for this one, and it's a couple of layers of fabric. I've cut out the middle heart and just put some other fabric behind it, and added some French knots in the shape of little forget-me-nots, and some more stitching around the outside. Again, I'm really happy with this, and I love the way that the colours match the main page. On the back, I tried to keep it a bit more simple and just use the cutout piece from the front, put that on the back with some more flowers and some straight stitch. And this one slides very nicely into this pocket here. And again, I've kept the pockets quite simple because this is so busy and the background's quite busy, and so I just wanted something that was quite plain and didn't interfere too much with the background fabric. And that is kind of where I'm at. This was the second last challenge. I am working through the final challenge at the moment. A very quick sneak peek is just this page here. So there's more to do. And even though it's the last challenge, and we're at the end of this project, there's still a lot of work for me to do because I haven't actually joined any of the pages other than one of them back here somewhere. So I've still got a lot of work to do in joining the pages, finishing off the mini book, finishing off the final challenge, and then we will wait for Anne to give us an idea of what we do with the cover. So as you can see, it's a hefty book, and it's really lovely and chunky and nice to hold, and I've had a ball doing this, and I really look forward to finishing off the pages and working on the cover so that we can do a final flip through together. So thanks for watching.